All right, this is the Module 6 end of module review. We're going to go through the review sheet and make sure that you are prepared for this test. First thing I'm going to tell you is that you really have to know your vocabulary words for this test. This whole first page is all based on vocab words. So two angles that are across from each other are called vertical angles. A pair of angles that add up to 90 called complementary angles. Supplementary means they add up to 180. So if the 1 is 74, you're just going to subtract it from 180. I'm going to do that right on the calculator. 180 minus 74 is 106. Choice C. 80 is one angle. Of vertical angles, the other one would be 80. Vertical angles are always equal. All right, next one. A present is shown. The length is 10, 12, and 3. What is the volume of the gift box? Okay, volume, remember the formula is big B times H. So big B would be the area of the base. The base is a rectangle, so we're going to do length times width. So the length is 10, width is 12, height is 3. So 10 times 12 times 3. You want to see that is 360, which is choice A. All right, we have volume of the sand pit, which has a length, a width, and a height. We know the volume. They're asking what the dimensions are. So each one of these, you're going to do length times width times height, or multiply all three numbers together to see which one will give us 40. So if I do 4 times 8, that's 128. So that's not it. 5 times 4 times 2 is 40. So that should be it. Let's just make sure. 20 times 10 times 10 is 2,000. And 4 times 6 times 1 gives us 24. So our answer is B. All right. How much cardboard is needed to cover? Cover means surface area. You're covering it. Filling is volume, so this is covering it. So we did this by separating. We're going to do top and bottom because it's the area of all the sides. So those are rectangles, so we're going to do base times height. The top and the bottom have dimensions of 5.2 and 2.4. So 5.2 times 2.4 is 12.48. There's 2 of them. So I'm going to multiply that by 2, and that gives me 24.96. All right, so let's do the sides now. So we have base times height. The sides are 2.4 times 3.5. Let me do that. 2.4 times 3.5 gives us 8.4. There's 2 of them, so I'm going to multiply that by 2. 16.8. All right, the last one I'm going to do is the front and back. Still rectangles, so area equals base times height. The dimensions are 5.2 and 3.5. So 5.2 times 3.5 is 18.2. There's 2 of them, so I'm going to multiply that by 2, which is 36.4. All right, so surface area means I'm going to add them all up. So 24.96, 16.8, and 36.4. 24.96, 16.8, and 36.4 gives me 78.16. Choice B. All right, so now we're going to move on to angles, and we're going to find missing angle relationships. Remember, you have to set up equations for these. So when I'm looking at this, I see 2 unknowns, which means 2 equations. And right away, I see that this forms a right angle. So I'm going to highlight that for you. That means that these 2 angles add up to 90. So my first equation is T plus 79 is equal to 90. I'm going to subtract 79 from both sides. So T is equal to 90 minus 79, which is 11. All right, so now that I have that one, I need to find S. So my other angle relationship that I'm going to use, let me pull out a different color. I see that this forms a straight line right here, which means all 4 of those angles add up to 180. So I have S, 79, 11, and 19. They add up to 180. I'm going to add those together. So 79, 11, and 19 is 109. To solve that, I'm going to subtract 109 from both sides. So S is equal to 71 degrees. All of this question is asking for is S and T, so we are done with that question. All right, it's part B. All right, once again, we have 2 different angles. So let's see. Right away, I see that this right here is a right angle. So I'm going to find M by doing M and 43 add up to 90. There's multiple ways you can do these. So even if you saw something different before I did, it doesn't mean you've gotten it wrong. All right, so we're going to subtract 43 from both sides. So M is equal to, let's do 90 minus 43 is 47 degrees. All right, so 47 degrees. A couple ways you can do this. You can see that this is vertical to this one. So if I label that N, I can now see that this forms a right angle with 38. You could do that. Or you could set it up to be a straight line where you're solving because all 4 of these angles add up to 180. It's up to you. So N plus 38 is equal to 90. Subtract 38 from both sides. So 90 minus 38 gives you 52. This question is just asking you to find N and M, so we are all set. All right, solving for A. These 2 angles, I see right away that they are vertical. That means they are across from each other. So vertical angles are equal to each other. So I'm going to take A plus 33, which and set it equal to 49. Subtract 33 from both sides. So A is equal to 49 minus 33, which is 16 degrees. All right, on the next page. This time I know all 5 of these angles. So all 5 of those angles form a complete circle, meaning they add up to 360. So I'm going to take all 5 of those, 2x, 3x, 2x, and then I have 36.5 and 36.5. Add up to 360. All right, so I'm going to combine these like terms. I get 7x. 36.5 plus 36.5 is 73, which is equal to 360. Subtract 73 from both sides. So 7x equals 360 minus 73 is 287. Finish solving by dividing both sides by 7, which is 41 degrees. Now we're not done with this problem. We did find the value of x, but we haven't found the 2 angles yet. So the first one we want to find is DAG. So if I trace that, DAG is 2x. X is 41. So I'm going to multiply 41 by 2, which gives us 82 degrees. We also have to do GAH, which is 3x. So 3 times 41 is 123. All right, so now we've answered all parts of the question. All right, number 11, this is a right angle, which means those 2 angles add up to 90. So I'm going to take x plus 8, and I add it to 2x, which is equal to 90. 2x and x is 3x. Now solve. Subtract 8 from both sides. So 3x is equal to 82. Divide both sides by 3. So 82 divided by 3 is 27.3 repeating. All right, so let's go back and do AOB, which is x plus 8. So 27.3 repeating plus 8. So all I have to do is add 8 to that. which gives us 35 1/3, or 35.3 repeating. It's the same thing. All right, and BOC is 2x. So 2 times 27 1/3, or 27.3 repeating, is 54 2/3. I'm just going to add 35 1/3 to make sure that that really does add up to 90, and it does. All right, number 12. Number 12 and 13, you're going to notice they have no pictures. And when you have a model with no picture, or a problem with no pictures, you have to remember to set up your let statement. So we have two angles, angle 1 and angle 2. When you have a ratio like that, that means we're multiplying that by some unknown number, x. So we have angle 1 is 4x, angle 2 is 5x. They are complementary, which means they add up to 90. So my equation, 4x plus 5x is equal to 90. 4x plus 5x is 9x. Divide both sides by 9. So x is equal to 10. Now we're not done yet. It's asked to find both angles. So let's go find angle 1 is 4x. Since x is 10, 4 times 10 is 40. Now let's find angle 2. Angle 2 is 5x, and x is 10 again. So 5 times 10 is 50. All right, let's read this second question. It says the measure of the supplement. Supplement automatically means 180. It's 25. More than means to add the measure of the angle. We don't know that. That's x. So let's set up our let statements. We have angle 1. We don't know is x. Angle 2, we just set up 25 plus x, or x plus 25. Adding doesn't matter what order you're in. We know it's supplementary, so we know that those will add up to 180. All right, so my equation, I have angle 1 is x. Angle 2 is x plus 25. They add up to 180. So x plus x is 2x. Subtract 25 from both sides. 2x is equal to 180 minus 25 is 155. Divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to 77.5. All right, let's go back and find both angles. So angle 1 is x. We already found that. That's 77.5 degrees. And angle 2 is x plus 25. So we're going to take 77.5. We're going to add 25, which is 102.5. All right, last page, number 14. We're going to find the area of, or I'm sorry, the volume of each box. So volume formula is V equals big B times H. Big B is the area of the base. The base is a rectangle, so it's length times width. So length is 11, width is 5, height is 6. When I multiply that, I get 330 centimeters cubed. Now let's find the volume of box B. The volume is a rectangular prism again. So we have length times width times height. So 4 times 7, we're going to multiply that by 10, which gives us 280 centimeters cubed. So how much greater is box A? You're just going to simply subtract 330 minus 280. Which is 50 centimeters cubed. All right, last question is a surface area question. Area of all the surfaces. So let's start with the base. The base is a rectangle. So we're going to do base times height. So 8 by 8 is 64. Now the other faces are triangles. So we're going to find the area of all the triangles. Formula is 1/2 base times height. The base of the triangle, and you can use any triangle, is 8. Height is 10. So 0.5 times 8 times 10 is 40. Now you have to make sure all the triangles are the same. Since it's a square base, then all the bases are the same and all the heights are the same. So I'm going to take 40 and multiply by 4. There are 4 triangles. That gives me 160. So the total surface area will be the base, 64, plus all the triangles, which is 224 inches. Oh, not cubed, squared. All right, that's it for the review. Good luck on this test.